What is happening, Miami Dolphins fans? Welcome to the Fins Up Network. It's Ben Morgan, and finally back in the win column after last week. Back above 500, 4-3 on the season, but it is already time to start prep for Week 8. That means it's Detroit Lions week, and we are kicking off this week with some stock up, stock down. So I'm going to be going through mine, and if you like mine, go ahead and give this video the thumbs up. But regardless, I want to hear yours as well. So drop your stock up, stock down candidates in the comments below, and let's get things kicked off right away. I've got one each right here. Stock up, stock down, and I honestly think I had this same exact combo a few weeks ago when Mostert started taking over the primary duties in the backfield. And at that point in time, I said, you know what? It's stock down Chase Edmonds for now, but I still think this duo can operate in a running back by committee. I'm like, you know what? Chase Edmonds just has the yips. He's got to get a long run. He's got to catch a ball. He's got to do something to just get the right mental going on. And you know what? It just has not happened yet. He has not snapped out of this funk. And all we have seen is Mostert take these duties and literally do every single thing that's been called upon him. 16 carries, 79 yards against the Steelers, added 4 catches for 30 yards and the receiving touchdown. And honestly, my favorite play, the touchdown was great. I like that he was able to get in the end zone, obviously. Touchdowns are great. My favorite play that Raheem Mostert had during that Steelers game, he was split out wide, and Tua hit him kind of like on like a quick slant. And it was a tight window throw, and Raheem Mostert snatched that ball, hands catch, a great catch for a wide receiver, but he did it as a running back. And not only did he make that quick hands catch, he was able to break a tackle, was able to get upfield and get more yards as well. I think he might have even broke another tackle or extended that play out a little bit longer than he should. And then you got the other hand, you got Chase Edmonds. 7 carries. None of the carries were really all that memorable. 17 yards and 2 drops. Single-handedly just killed 2 possessions for the Dolphins with those drops. And then if you look, he had the back-to-back carries on 3rd and 2 and 4th and 3 in that to start the second half. And there's a still frame out there that if you look, like everyone was kind of pissed off about the call, but there is a hole off to the left on that 4th down carry that Chase Edmonds just completely misses. So I've got no choice but to be rinse, wash, repeat on this one with stock up Raheem Mostert and stock down for the time being at Chase Edmonds. He needs to get out of this funk. So keep an eye on that as we hit up the Lions this week. Let's keep things going with a stock up because Jaelan Phillips is a machine right now. Sunday night, 8 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss. He now has 3 sacks over the last 4 games. But honestly, I talk about it all the time with edge rushers. Sacks are sexy. Sacks are what you want. Sacks are super productive. That's what you pay these guys for. He is doing so much more, though, for this defense than just getting the sacks. Watch him on defense. He's constantly either being chipped by a defender or by a person trying to block him, or he's being double teamed. And if he's getting a shot at one-on-one, he's consistently winning, getting to the quarterback, not always finishing with a sack, but getting the hurry, getting the hit, getting the pressure. And he's finally starting to get home as well. Like I said, 3 sacks over the last 4 games. But I'm going to tell you about my favorite play from him from last week as well, because it's in the 4th quarter. I think there's about 3 minutes left. It's 3rd and 6. And he ends up kind of staying at the line. And he knows that Kenny Pickett is going to run. He is on the other hash when Pickett decides to run. He takes the perfect angle and beelines it to Pickett, hits him, pushes him out of bounds before he would have got to the first down. And honestly, the play, I don't even think it even counted, because there was another penalty. The Dolphins accepted the penalty, pushed him back further. But that effort in the 4th quarter, when he had played a pile of snaps, if you were watching him, you could tell he was dog tired. But man, the dude has a motor. He is one of the most productive pass rushers in the league right now. My recommendation for this Lions game, just watch him. Zone in on some plays, and when you know there's going to be a pass rush opportunity, keep your eyes on Jaelan Phillips. I doubled up on another one here with a couple of stock ups because it's some guys that we're not used to seeing get a lot of action so far this season. Duke Riley, Andrew Van Ginkel. And Riley, like I said, got that extended playing time. 29 snaps, was flying all over the field. in the run game, in pass coverage. Finished the game with 6 tackles, 1 for a loss, and he saw a little bit of action in replace of Elandon Roberts. And Elandon Roberts still got some run. He had 35 snaps. But seeing him go to the sideline for Riley, another thing to keep an eye on, because Duke Riley made the most of those opportunities. Finished as Pro Football Focus's 4th highest graded player for the Miami Dolphins in that game. So like I said, keep an eye on him moving forward. And Van Ginkel, talk about playing some snaps. He only had 24. For comparison's sake, Jerome Baker played 69 snaps. Now, I'm just showing you what like a typical, almost every down kind of linebacker plays. But in those 24 snaps for Van Ginkel, goes ahead and leads the team with 10 total tackles. Most importantly, if you were paying attention to what Van Ginkel did on some of those plays, he was playing the role of the spy. And that's that issue that we've had in the past with quarterbacks that are a little bit mobile. And Kenny Pickett is kind of that guy as well. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's not Josh Allen, but he can scoot. He can get out there and do some damage with his legs. We saw it. He picked up a 3rd and long with his legs in that game. Knew the defense had to make some adjustments, and one of the adjustments they made was letting Van Ginkel play in that spy role. And we all kind of thought, you know what, Channing Tindall's going to get a spy role at some point in time, but it wasn't Tindall this week. It was Andrew Van Ginkel that got that role this week, and he finished as PFF's 5th highest graded Miami Dolphin from the Sunday night's game against the Steelers. Kind of looks like him and Melvin Ingram are in a little bit of a timeshare. Ingram logged 33 snaps. He also played well. He was a pretty highly graded player as well. But I think the team's strategy with these two guys right now, Van Ginkel and Ingram, keep them fresh. They can both get up the quarterback. They can both play pretty well in the run game. We saw Van Ginkel in the spy role. Keep them fresh. And then obviously maybe play the hot hand whenever you need to. I do have a couple of I don't have these like, I don't want to go in super in depth with some of these other ones, but I do want to give a couple of honorable mention stock ups because Justin Bethel, Noah Igbenogany playing at cornerback, and then you got Verone McKinley and you got Clayton Fedulum in the secondary playing safety, holding it down while so many guys ahead of them on the depth chart are injured. And honestly, some of these guys, yes, they didn't have perfect games. They had some bad plays. Obviously, Igbenogany gave up the touchdown to Pickens, made up for it with the game-winning interception, game-sealing interception. Justin Bethel had his interception as well. McKinley was out there making plays as well. Fedulum had a pass breakup, had a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. All of these guys holding it down. And the 4 names that I said, Bethel, Igbenogany, McKinley, Fedulum, that was week 7. If you'd have told me in the preseason that these guys were going to not only be playing snaps in the regular season in week 7, but meaningful snaps in a meaningful game that we needed to win at home, I would have either called you a liar, I would have laughed in your face because I would not have believed it. But we are that decimated in the secondary right now that we're relying on these guys, and they came in and got the job done. But guys to keep an eye on, because not every single team is going to be trotting out a rookie quarterback. I know our schedule is, I don't want to call it fairly easy because it's the NFL and literally anything can happen right now. But keep an eye on these guys because their number is going to continue to get called, especially with Brandon Jones going on IR. That was a roster move they made on Monday. And one more honorable mention guy, Ben Stille, making his NFL debut, recording 2 tackles. He had a nice hit, I think, at or behind the line of scrimmage on Najee Harris. And if you've been with the Fins Up Network since we started here throughout the offseason, I've been a big fan of Ben Stille. Maybe it's just because he has the probably one of the top 3-4 names in the entire country with Ben. But other than that, man, this guy is just, I don't want to say he's Zach Sealer. He's not there. He probably won't be there at some point in time. But the dude, when given opportunities, he was constantly filling run gaps in training camp and in preseason. And for him to be able to end up making it on the practice squad and then get elevated for game day and get his number called Sunday night primetime TV, and then to go out there and make those plays in limited snaps, like I said, honorable mention, stock up to Ben Stille. But that is what I have got for today, Dolphins fans. Like I said, give this video the thumbs up if you like mine, and go ahead and drop yours in the comments as well. And stay tuned. I will be back on Thursday with the top keys to victory against the Detroit Lions, and Saturday morning with my final preview and prediction video. But that is my time for today, Miami Dolphins fans. And until next time, Fins up.